Now, the Subway Final Word.
Welcome back. It happened last weekend, but 8 days later, it's just as brutal. Shawn Thornton attacks Brooks Orpik. It took almost a week for the NHL to hand down the decision, but on Friday, Thornton got 15 games. So we head back to the panel for topic number 4, and we're talking about this suspension. Was the 15 games for Shawn Thornton the right call? Mark, you're the first on this one.
Given the standard by which the NHL issues suspensions, 15 games is about right for Shawn Thornton. But if they think that set a precedent, that that's going to deter people from heinous acts like what Thornton perpetrated on Brooks Orpik, they're wrong. The NHL is the most poorly administrated sports league in the world. Headshots are epidemic, and all they need to do to stop it is say, okay, every shot to the head, minimum 20-game suspension. You do it more than once, the suspension multiplies. But they won't do it because this is what the NHL wants. They pay lip service to fixing the problem, but they want a violent, borderline sociopathic league because that fits the original Canadian vision. Guys like Shawn Thornton simply must have jobs. If it was all skill and skating, that job would be taken by a European, and where would the NHL be then? Not nearly as uniquely Canadian.
15 games, the right call, Josh?
I'll be honest, I think he got off a little lucky. I certainly think it could have been more severe. And I think it's time that teams start getting punished for these incidents as well. Let me tell a very quick story.
Yes.
I was in Boston a week before when the Penguins played there. I had a long conversation with Shawn Thornton, of all people, and I asked him, what is it like to defend Crosby and Malkin? And he specifically told me that Claude Julien does not let him on the ice against Crosby and Malkin because he knows he's not a good enough player to be on the ice against them. So why is it, Albie, that he was on the ice for 3 consecutive shifts against Sidney Crosby the last time they played? Because Crosby was on the ice at the exact same time that Brooks Orpik was on the ice. It's very clear that Julien was sending Thornton on the ice to go after Orpik. So why isn't Julien being punished, and why aren't the Bruins being punished? It was clearly a premeditated attack, and they were the ones who told Thornton what to do, and that doesn't defend what he did. I'm not defending Shawn Thornton, but he was not alone in this.
Great stuff, Josh. Bill Phillips is down in Heinz Field. Bill, what do you think?
I thought it would have been a minimum 20 games at the least. It could have been more than that, 25, 30 games. And now you have Derek Englund, who I'm not excusing for his play against Detroit. He put his shoulder into the chin, and that's going to cost him. And as you mentioned, it's a minimum of 5 games. Let's say he gets 10. So let's say Englund gets 10 games, 5 games, and then you have Thornton, who premeditatedly comes up, pulls down Orpik, and then hits him while he's laying on the ice. That's got to be worth more than 5 or 10 games more than what Englund did. Again, I agree with Mark. It makes you scratch your head as to what the NHL is thinking when they come down with some of these rulings. If they want to send a message, if they really want to do it, and not, as Mark says, play lip service, hit them with a big penalty, a 30-game suspension for a guy like Thornton, who comes out and basically assaults Brooks Orpik in front of 20,000 people in Boston and gets away with a 15-game suspension. That's 15 games. People take notice of it, but I don't think it's going to be a major deterrent. I think he got off light.
All right, we're going to.
And Albie, Shawn Thornton's going to appeal the suspension. That takes some brass, and that means the players' union has to defend a guy who tried to kill another union member.
And how disingenuous does he look after he was on the verge of tears after that game, apologizing? Now, if he's going to appeal this ruling, it does not make him look very good at all.
Crocodile tears.
Yeah,
Crocodile tears.
Exactly. All right, we're going to stay with the Penguins when we come back for our next topic. But first, what do the fans think about the 15-game ban for Thornton? Sean Tunstall says, I think it was a strong statement. Personally, I think James Neal's knee to the head was dirtier. And we're going to talk about some more possible suspensions when the Subway Final Word comes right back after this.